Argentina. It was once a unique destination with the richest and fastest growing economy in the world. It had built subway stations before developed cities such as Tokyo and Beijing and had a promising profile. For this reason, many immigrants flocked to Argentina in the early 20th century, dreaming of enjoying a happy and peaceful life. Today, there are almost 7 million of these immigrants of different nationalities. However, if we look at Argentina today, it is far from being a super developed country. The country is struggling with ever-increasing inflation, and many people are even turning to prostitution to make a living. Moreover, the government is aware of the situation and does not impose any sanctions. In addition, it is not uncommon to see people sleeping on the streets and using drugs in cafes. Even those who run the country say that Argentina is no longer a livable place, and other countries are aware of this. And yet, despite all these negativities, the flow of immigration to Argentina continues unabated. The biggest reason for this is undoubtedly the affordable prices. In fact, The Economist magazine confirmed this by naming the capital Buenos Aires as the cheapest and most livable place to live. For this reason, Argentina, like the United States, has become a country of immigrants. Related to this issue, deportations are almost non-existent in the country, and people with expired visas can usually easily cross the border illegally. However, people do not need to make extra efforts to live in the country. This is because Argentina offers the opportunity to obtain residency and citizenship for people who come from war zones or who have experienced chaos in their country. So, is Argentina really a country worth living in? Worth leaving the land of your birth and emigrating to? Now, I will give clear answers and leave the interpretation to you. But first, I would like to ask you to follow my channel as a reward for my efforts. First, let's start with the capital, Buenos Aires. This city is known as an extremely safe and developed area where people live in luxury apartments. Here, you can walk the streets undisturbed and take photos as you please. However, due to the economic problems in the country as a whole, there are many robberies in this city. Thieves can often show up with guns or knives and try to rob you by threatening you. In fact, local guides warn that if you are ever in such a situation, you should never resist and put yourself at risk. On the other hand, a thief who tries to rob you in broad daylight on a motorcycle may be a guest on a talk show on a national channel in the evening. How funny is that? Because the criminal laws in Argentina are superficial and the security forces are not able to control people properly. Police powers and public order situations in the country can be shaped by the opinion of the local population. For example, when the police arrest a criminal, they imprison him for a few days and then release him. The government attributes this to the fact that people are very poor and does not impose major sanctions. A non-fatal crime is tolerated because people are poor. This encourages criminals to reoffend and not be afraid. Nevertheless, despite this negative aspect, Buenos Aires is a really charming city. The streets are lively and the people are very friendly. For example, you can see someone walking the streets with 20 to 25 dogs at the same time. Yes, I'm talking about one person, but these people are actually dog sitters. People who don't have time for their own dogs because of their busy work schedules entrust their dogs to these people and socialize them. Interestingly, even though these dogs are of different breeds, they never growl or attack each other. I guess they are used to the Argentine culture. I can say the same about people. People living in this country enjoy a free life and never interfere with each other's life choices and the way they dress, even if they breathe the same air. On the other hand, cannabis and drug use in Argentina is, to a certain extent, free. For example, you can go out on the terrace of a cafe, prepare and smoke your own marijuana. Many times in the country, there are problems between men and women. For this reason, protests and demonstrations are organized for women's rights at certain times of the year. In addition, the inflation rate in Argentina is increasing every day, and the peso, the country's official currency, is constantly losing value. For example, today $1 is equal to about 1,000 Argentine pesos. In other words, there is a terrible situation of 1 to 1,000. Although the locals say that 2 years ago $1 was worth 15 pesos and the economy was better. Unfortunately, today the situation is very bad, but if you live in Argentina and earn dollars, life is cheap enough. You don't really care if inflation is rising and the peso is losing value. And how is it for the locals? Of course it's terrible. People are finding it very difficult to live and earn money. In the capital, you can see homeless people and people in need of help almost everywhere. These people cannot pay their bills and rent, so they prefer to live on the streets and receive social assistance. Even if they find a job, the money they earn is insufficient and they expect the government to help them. Meanwhile, unemployment rates in Argentina have risen to 5.7% by 2024. Let's leave this drama aside for now. Due to the shortage of dollars in the country's banks, if you want to withdraw dollars from ATMs, you will get pesos in return. This problem also disrupts the country's imports. For example, if you want to wear the clothes of a famous brand from Spain or Italy, or if you need a technological device made in the United States, you will face supply problems. Because of the lack of dollars, many countries are not willing to import such products to Argentina. Also, it is not possible to find every size in the famous department stores in the country. Generally, the most preferred sizes and the best-selling products enter through the border. According to unofficial data, the annual tax rate in the country is 276.2%. This eats away at purchasing power and devalues the peso day by day. Therefore, if you visit Argentina, I advise you not to buy electronic devices. To give a simple example, the iPhone, the best phone in the world, is also sold very expensive in Argentina due to high taxes. The streets of Argentina are literally filled with advertisements for prostitution and over-18 party announcements. But you don't have to go to these parties to meet or flirt with someone, because in this country, dating is very easy. Cultural and social norms in the country are shaped by people's lifestyles. For example, if you propose dinner to a beautiful Argentine woman with a gentlemanly image, it can carry a deep meaning. Argentine women find it very normal to be with a man they have just met after dinner. This is because they care more about a man being kind and polite than expensive gifts or luxury cars. If you are a man who pays attention to these things, you can take the first steps of a long-term relationship right after dinner. At such dinners, women are extremely stylish and attractive. During the day, when they go to meet a man, they are more likely to wear black leather pants or loose black sexy dresses. Some guide girls are even so self-confident that they can go out on the streets during the day to hunt for men. This sometimes leads to married couples in the country cheating with their bosses, even though they love each other very much. Moreover, this unethical situation is considered normal in the country, because people have a very broad mindset and they live as they are happy. Besides, when you walk the streets in Argentina, you can often see men holding hands. The country is liberal in LGBTQ+ relationships and never oppresses its people. For example, two women can get married and even have children by buying sperm. Moreover, once they have a child, there is no need to indicate the gender of the child on the child's identity card. I would also say that most people who have children in the country are not married. People usually stay in a relationship until their mid-30s, have children, and then choose to get officially married in their mid-30s. This is never seen as repulsive or criticized. For example, it's not uncommon to see a 50-year-old Argentinian becoming a parent. This is because these people have a different outlook on life. Generally, they enjoy entertainment until their mid-20s, try to build a career until they are 30, and decide to get married in their mid-30s. Most of the tourists who visit the country are Americans, but there are also many Europeans. These people usually prefer to sightsee in the capital and have fun in luxury restaurants. They also contribute to the country's economy with the dollars they bring with them. Argentina is indeed a very positive and wonderful destination. The economy is bad, purchasing power is low, inflation is high, and unemployment rates are rising. This is true. But no matter what, people are happy and take every opportunity to socialize in cafes and restaurants. They even take a long and pleasant break called siesta to get away from the troubles of life. On the other hand, these people are very friendly. They don't like to show off or wear luxurious or expensive clothes. As I said before, you don't need luxury cars or expensive clothes to socialize, be friends, or lovers with an Argentine, because this can look very unattractive from the outside. Instead, you should prefer a simple and unpretentious style of dress, politeness, and friendliness. By the way, if you plan to stay in the capital Buenos Aires, you can rent a house for $500 on average. Of course, if you prefer areas like Palermo, you can see that prices increase. On the other hand, Argentines prefer to order takeout instead of cooking at home. Therefore, a family of 4 can spend up to $1,000 a month on food. In general, if you want to live in Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina, you need to have an average income. This is approximately $2,000. I hope you got a lot of information about Argentina. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye.